Chicago loves you because you're so open about your love for the Bears. I love the hat from Hinsdale. For those that are watching, a Stevenson High School grad as well.
That's right.
All right, before we get into the draft, I needed to ask you, are you happy with the free agent moves that the Bears have made this offseason?
I mean, happy, sure. Surprised, almost even shocked. I mean, Lou, didn't you almost fall off your chair at the Keenan Allen? I couldn't believe it. We all know, you follow football, you know Keenan Allen. You've had him on at least one fantasy team. You've seen him here. He's a venerable pro who puts up every single year, and now he's a Bear? That was unbelievable to me. I mean, literally, I could not believe that happened. So I love that, and then I love Everett. This is what we're doing right now, Lou. I look at it this way. I have kids. I remember when they were little babies. I'm going to get into them in a second. Hold on. When the babies are coming, you do something that you call nesting. You turn the word nest into a verb, where you get that nursery all perfect and the mobile and the perfect paint color that suggests warmth and confidence, and you get it ready for the baby. The baby is coming. The baby is coming next Thursday night in Detroit. And I feel like Poles has just been nesting. And they didn't need to bring in everybody they brought in, maybe, but he said, never mind it. We're going to have that white noise machine. We're going to have that little stuffed dinosaur. It's going to be a perfect turnkey little nursery for Mr. Williams when he moves to Chicago and is surrounded by toys. They've been nesting, and I love it.
I love it as well, and like you, grew up in the city on the south side. For those who have not seen you on Good Morning Football, why are you in the Caleb Williams camp? Why are you such a fan of his?
Well, a lot of different reasons. I could just say the talent, but everybody likes the talent. I love that he's an original. I love that he is fearless. And candidly, I've spoken about this before. I always liked him as an athlete. When I started to respect him differently as a person was when he shows up on ESPN at a basketball game with pink fingernails and a pink phone and a pink wallet, whatever. And there was a large portion of the internet that was making fun of him, that was making slights against him, maybe even slurs against him. And I said, you guys need to shut the hell up and back the hell off. And first of all, don't take it a step further and say he's not going to fit in Chicago. You know nothing about Chicago. You know nothing about the fans in Chicago. The fans in Chicago don't give a damn how someone dresses or speaks. If they can throw a touchdown in a game that matters, preferably against a team from Green Bay, paint yourself whatever you want. You don't get it. Don't speak on it. So I love that he is fearless. I love that he is different. As I've said, Lou, in the 100-plus years or even the last 20 years, the Bears have tried every different type of personality at quarterback. None of them have worked. If none of them have worked at all, if we have a different type, I think we should applaud that.
Kyle, you know what I tell people? 28 years ago, this city embraced a guy who put on a wedding dress, jumped on a Harley, and drove down Michigan Avenue. Don't tell me that whether he paints his fingernails or not does not matter. Don't tell me they won't accept him if he doesn't play well, right?
Lou, I saw at the Rosemont Horizon when I was in high school, I saw Stone Temple Pilots, okay? They were one of the coolest bands at the time. Scott Weiland, the late Scott Weiland, was their lead singer, arguably the most charismatic lead singer of the last 30 years. As they're coming out on stage, Dennis Rodman comes out from the side of the stage, and everybody goes nuts. No one's looking at the rock band. No one's looking at Scott Weiland. The whole Rosemont Horizon was losing their minds for Dennis Rodman, who I don't even remember what the hell he was wearing or what he was not wearing, but we loved him. I really think after Michael Jordan, no athlete in Chicago in the last quarter century, 30, 40 years even, has captivated the city in terms of their hero worship like Dennis Rodman. And maybe Caleb's got some Dennis Rodman in. I'm here for it.
I hope so as well. All right. $1 million question today, Wednesday, April 17th. What are you doing with the Bears' second first-round pick at number 9?
All right, I've gone around on this a little bit. I'm going to take you through the stages, Lou, and I'll tell you where I've landed. First of all, I thought, okay, well, they nested. Like I said, they're set. Like I think they got an offense for Caleb. Let's go. Let's take the best defensive player, because at number 9, Lou, they may get the first defensive player in the draft. The way this thing's shaking out, we don't even know. And then I said, no. Let's put it all on Caleb. Let's not think we're done. Let's not counter eggs for the hatch. Put it all on Caleb. Let's get the wide receiver like most of the mock drafts have. I think everybody has, and every mock has Odunze going there, which, as we know, Lou, means Odunze won't go there and won't be there because the mocks say he will. And now I've landed on my decision. I want them to trade back.
Really?
I'm into the trade back. I really am. Yes, I am, because I think at 9, I think there's going to be a bunch of elite players already gone. I think they do have the weapons for Caleb, and I think Poles is crafty like that. And I think someone will be thirsty and irresponsible to get up to 9 to draft a wide receiver who's not going to change their program in any way. I like the trade back. Give us picks, and so next year and in year 3 of Caleb, we can give him new toys when we know what kind of toys he likes to play with.
All right, don't trade back too far. I mean, you still need a really good player, don't you? In the first round, top 20, a guy on the defensive side, maybe even if one of those big left tackles are still there, grab one of them.
Listen, if the alt is there, a tackle, you take him. You're just taking him at 9. Fine. There's a couple guys who are no doubters. Alt, I love. Obviously, Harrison Jr. I don't think those guys are going to be there. Don't trade back too far. But there's guys, there's teams out there right now, whether it's the crazy Cowboys who never trade up in the first round, but I'm hearing might do it this year, whether it's the Buffalo Bills who are way back in the 20s but have no wide receivers in a year they're supposed to go for the Super Bowl, I still think that someone will do something, I call it irresponsible. The layman term is dumb, to go up to 9 from 15, 17, 16. That's great because you'll still get a great player and you'll get a haul. Moving from 16 to 9 is expensive, Lou. I think Poles would do it.
All right, J.J. McCarthy's a local guy from LaGrange.
Yeah.
Nazareth Academy. Are you buying the J.J. McCarthy love as this guy just soars up the draft boards?
Yeah, I hate myself for this because, listen, I grew up around LaGrange. I used to go and play tennis around LaGrange, and my grandparents lived in LaGrange Park. Had we not moved up to the north suburbs and I gone to Stevenson, I would have gone to Lyons Township. I love it. I love a local guy. My dad is a Fenwick guy. I get it. And I love Michigan football. I would not draft J.J. McCarthy that high. I love everything he represents as a person. He handles himself well. He's great in the media. He's done a ton of winning. I just want someone, if I'm drafting him at 3, Lou, at 2, we're talking about him at 2. The first thing you hear about him and the first thing you see about him is, well, he wins a lot. All right, great. But does he have a massive arm? Is he a great athlete? Is he an unbelievable talent with unlimited upside? No. And I don't think that you can skip out on those things that high. Maybe first round, sure, but not that high. I wouldn't do it. I think there are more talented guys who could have a higher arc to them. Maybe I'll be wrong. In fact, I kind of hope I'm wrong, but I'm not on McCarthy that high. I'm not ashamed to say it. A lot of people will just tell you every player is great. I'm trying to be honest with you, Lou.
All right, I know you're honest with me because us Chicago guys are always honest with each other. And I think you're a great follow on Twitter, at Kyle Brandt, by the way, for those of you that want to follow him during the draft, prior to the draft as well. And today, you called it Washboard Wednesday. I love that you get together with your boy, Peter Schrager, while you guys are off and you guys comparing mock drafts. I know Pete came out with a mock draft. Today on Washboard Wednesday, you said, after Caleb Williams, here are the next 5 quarterbacks I got going. J.J. McCarthy, Drake Maye, Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix Jr., and Bo Nix. Here's where I'm going with it, Kyle.
All right.
Only 35% of the first-round quarterbacks make it in this league. Mm-hmm. Of that group, of the 6 that I just rattled off, who in your mind do you think we're going to look back and say, great pick?
I like Maye. I like Drake Maye. And listen, we as Chicagoans have scar tissue about North Carolina quarterbacks being drafted early up in the first round, especially in the top 5. We all do. But you know what I love about him? Not only is he big and talented and all the things, he has a lot of the tangibles that I think J.J. McCarthy does not have. Up high, I like tangibles. Everybody wants to say, oh, intangibles are so great. Tangibles are way better. What I love about Maye is he's what they call the big game hunter. Like, he'll go for it. If it's 3rd and 1 and he's breaking the pocket, he'll chuck it 60 yards. And I think he could pull that back a little bit, but I think there's star power in that. I think there's excitement in that. And everybody wants comps. Like, Mahomes was the same thing at Texas Tech. When Mahomes was losing games 70-50 or whatever it was in college, he was chucking it. He was the big game hunter too. So listen, Drake Maye, there's some things to like, some things to not. I like a guy who's going to go for it. There's nothing conservative. It's an offensive league with offensive rules, and it's changing even more so. I like Drake Maye. Big, strong, totally fearless.
All right. We still need a pass rusher in this town opposite Montez Sweat. Where are they going to get one?
I don't know. It's always fascinating when you get these, it's a quarterback draft, it's a pass rusher draft. You know, a couple drafts ago, it was Trayvon, and then it was Aiden, and it's like the pass rusher just at the top. It's just the way the ball bounces. You know where I think they're going to get one, Lou? I think they're going to get one in the 2025 draft with the picks they get for trading back for number 9. How about that?
I'll take that as an answer.
I'll take it too.
I love it. I actually thought maybe they'd grab a guy that's put on the street following one of the mini camps out there, just like they did with Yannick Ngakoue last year. All right. It'd be sweet to have another cornerstone on that offensive line opposite Darnell Wright. There's no one out there that can argue with you and I and say that Wright did not have a terrific rookie season, played almost every snap, kept himself healthy. Are you happy with Braxton Jones? I mean, where do you think Jones fits in on this O-line?
TBD. Like, there's a lot of TBD on the line. Listen, my guy for years was Cody Whitehair. He's gone. So, like, he was the guy holding down the ship after the Nagy era and all through the last several years. He's gone. I think you have a star in Darnell Wright, who I feel seems like a little bit in what Detroit got in Penei Sewell, who became an all-pro very, very quickly. And if Wright makes the jump now with Caleb, yes. But the rest of the guys, I think it's TBD. Like, I think camp is going to be a lot of talking about O-line, depending on how the draft goes. Everyone's going to be talking about Caleb. But look, Lou, we can get him 50 different wide receivers and Keenan Allen's and DJ Moore's. Like, he's got to have a few seconds to throw. The only good thing is he had no time at USC whatsoever last year. It was a really, really bad offensive line at USC. So even if it is an average line with the Bears, I think it'll be an upgrade for him.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, they were 7-10 last year. Right now, before the draft, how much better do you have this team next season?
Significantly better, because I saw the way the defense ended the season. I saw the way the defense ended. You know, we hired Flus a few years ago to be a defensive coach. We're all talking about Fields and Caleb and DJ Moore. It's the defense, and the defense came around in the last 6 weeks. And this is someone no one speaks about nationally because the Bears were good, and you have to talk about the Cowboys all the time. In the last 6 weeks, there were not many many defenses better than the Bears in the last month and a half. They destroyed the Lions. No one remembers it. No one cares. The defense was playing. So I think they're going to be significantly better. Significantly. Here's the deal. Everyone's going to hand the division to Detroit. Everyone's going to say Green Bay starting the new era, and we'll see what happens with Minnesota. There'll be no talk about Chicago other than protect Caleb, try not to get him killed, and make sure he's not like Bryce Young his rookie year. I think they're going to be good, and I think Caleb is not going to have to put up 30 points a game because that defense is going to be really good. I think that we're going to have meaningful conversations about them late in the season. I like them that much.
Dude, I'll tell you what, I agree with you. And I think one of the big signings for this Bears team was keeping Matt Eberflus around and giving him the keys to the car on defense and telling him you did such a good job last year. Run the defense again. All right, for those of you that are your fans that watch you every morning on Good Morning Football, what are you doing with all this time off?
Lifting weights. I gave up drinking. Not forever. I'm not crazy, but like for the time we're off, I take my kids to school. I have lunch with my wife. I pick my kids up from school. And I'm actually enjoying it. I miss doing Good Morning Football because I have takes and I have things to say, which is why I'm flattered to be on with you, Lou. But we're trying to do it virtually on our phone, and we're doing our little segments like you mentioned. So we'll be back. We'll be back with a vengeance. And I'm like sitting in my laboratory creating things to say and to scream about. And so this is just a little taste, Lou. It's been a very strange time for Good Morning Football viewers and for Good Morning Football cast, believe me. But a new dawn is coming, and we're excited about it.
I know you're missing the morning wake-up call, but give us a little peek about the new show. What are you excited most about what's next for Good Morning Football?
The evolution. You know, we started in 2016, August 1st, 2016. I remember it well. And now it's like we've done the show in 8 years in New York, and you kind of do it at the same table in the same studio with the same feel. And it's kind of like time to go off to college, you know, where it's the guy who stays at home after senior year and is still living. Okay, fine. But eventually you got to move out and start your life. This feels like evolution to me. It's going to be a little sharper, a little bigger, a little more produced, a little earlier. But I'm very, very excited for it, and I've got a few more months to plan it. And the Bears fans have always been so cool with the show because, frankly, Lou, other than the double doink, there has not been a lot of true excitement during the Good Morning Football era for the Bears. So they've been patient, they've been ready, and I've never felt Bears excitement more than I have right now with the #1 pick. It wasn't like last year when they traded it. It wasn't like when they got Fields. This is real, true excitement. There is a rock star coming to Lake Forest, Illinois, and he's coming from LA, from Hollywood. It's really exciting.
I love it. I feel your passion every morning. I watch you on Good Morning Football when you wear a Bears shirt or you've got the hat on like you do now. And on behalf of all us Chicago guys, we are proud of you. You're from Hinsdale originally, right?
Born in Hinsdale Hospital, grew up in Indian Head Park, and then moved up to Lincolnshire when I was 10.
You are We are proud of you because you are one of our own, and we had an opportunity to work together a few years ago on the Bears preseason broadcasts, and we didn't get to spend much time, but I can't wait till you come through Chicago so we can hang out a little bit. Thanks for joining us.
I love you, Lou. Before I go, two things. I love Fox 32. I was raised on it. First time I saw the Victory Auto Records commercials, Lowe's Edelson Chevrolet and Elmhurst, Empire Carpeting, all on Fox 32. And Lou, just one more thought about the Bears. They're the belle of the ball next Thursday night. It's very exciting. #1 pick. Let's agree that after this year, that never happens again. This is a farewell tour. It's exciting now, but just a goodbye concert. I don't ever want to see this logo with the #1 next to it at the draft. Can we agree on that?
I don't ever want to be the worst in the league ever again. Not in my lifetime,
Never.
at least. All right, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks, Lou.